Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode and this live where I actually come here today, bearing my soul like I've done many times, and just share my journey and what I go through. So, today I'm just bidding a farewell to my best friend. You probably, I know we have all heard that idea that a dog is a man's best friend. And when it comes to Champ in my life, I know that he has been more than just a best friend. He has been, my confidant, my companion, my soul partner. We had soul agreements together. He has been the actual most impactful being in my life as far as how I've became who I am and all the lessons that he has taught me. So I just wanted to come forth, first of all, and really just, pay tribute to his legacy. And those of you that have followed me for many years, either on Champ's page, which I want to welcome you because it's been a little bit since we've been active on his page, but even on my own YouTube channel, I know a lot of you have followed my journey with Champ and have followed the process of the things I've went through personally in the trials, the tribulations, the challenges, the traumas, and also how that links to, Champ paralleling his own ascension, his own coming into his own freedom, so to speak, coming here as a bully breed dog that represents and carries the weight of a lot of judgment. And judgment has been something that I know that I've been trying to overcome my entire life. So I know that a part of my journey and Champ's journey together has been about bringing unity amongst ourselves, amongst the breed, amongst people, amongst the world. And so I feel like we really had a big mission. And his passing will be a week tomorrow. And the interesting thing is in that it was not a peaceful situation. It was a very traumatic experience of what he went through in the end. I'm not going to go into all the details here, and I'll probably maybe share it along the way. But, I've been working on a book with him for 10 years that will be coming out very soon because it's already been in motion for a long time. And all the pieces have been there. And I've been using the last week as my own healing time to put time into that book to get that book finished because it's actually helping me heal in the process. And so, in that, I'm going to share all the raw details, the entire journey that I've been on personally and with him by my side. And in that, there's something I want to bring kind of forth because some of you, especially on his page, have probably, I know, followed this, some on my personal page. And I know those of you on my YouTube channel or different friends have heard me probably talk about the 100-Day Smile Challenge that we did. And it started from Memorial Day to Labor Day 10 years ago. So this is the 10-year anniversary of the Smile Challenge. Hi, Karen. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. Lisa, I know you followed the Smile Challenge because we met through the Smile Challenge 10 years ago as you followed Champ and I's journey. And really, it was Champ's journey, me just being the facilitator to bring his mission forth. And I have somebody here that's joined that actually we met through that. So hello, Lisa. We've actually met in person through that as well, but we met through our dogs. We met through Champ. And Lisa, I already sent you a private message, so I know you know this, but there's more coming about the Smile Challenge because I had somebody on my personal page mention to me about that's how she had just met me and she enjoyed following that Smile Challenge because Champ's breed is a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. They're known for their smile, and he had a legendary smile. And everywhere he went, he would make people smile. And at the time we started this Smile Challenge, I was ending a relationship or needing to. And I was basically in the pit of hell. And I started noticing, my escape was going to run with him. And as we would run through Legacy Park, of all things, in Cottleville, Missouri, where we used to live, people would always just, and they did his whole life anyway, but just at that moment, it clicked inside of me because he was making people smile. And then us getting to share with the people how his breed, educate them on his breed, that, bully breed's not necessarily a scary thing, and to give education about it. And people started smiling about it. We started educating. And in that process, what I started noticing was me putting my pain or my experience or my energy into something that he was doing that was so positive when I felt like I was in the pit of hell. It made me smile inside. And that literally transformed me. And it's how I was able to end that relationship and how I was able to move forward and past that experience. And I started paying forward to everything that Champ had taught me. And then came a book that started out as 8 Tricks for Happier Humans. And as we move forward now, it's more Champ the Human Whisperer, and it's unleashing the wisdom of man's best friend. That will be coming soon. It is almost finished, actually, as I mentioned. But the Smile Challenge started on Memorial Day and went to Labor Day. And based on a 10-year tribute, I'm going to be reposting that. So those of you that are on my personal page, or those of you that are on Champ's page, you're going to be able to see this repost of the journey that we took. Because what ended up happening in that journey, his smile went around the globe and it became an icon. We started out doing this, and people was saying, "Oh, you should post this on Facebook." It wasn't even really my idea. And I did. And so when the goal was that when we were running and he would make somebody smile, we would stop and educate them on his breed, and then tell them that we did a challenge to do 100 days in a row of running from Memorial Day to Labor Day. And in that process, the goal was that they had to stop us, and we would after we educate them, we would take his picture with them, and I would make a post about him and what he taught them for every day. And so we're going to repost that as a tribute. And so Lisa, you're saying you're looking forward to seeing his big smile again. I know, me too. So in that, though, we're going to repost the Smile Challenge and do that as a tribute for 10 years. And back to what I was saying, though, somebody I had met in person at a writing event, after she saw that Champ had crossed, she messaged on a post and said, "Oh my gosh, I remember this. I remember his smile, and he always put a smile on my face. I remember following your journey with him. I remember the Smile Challenge." And it hit me that was 10 years ago this month. And I told her, I said, "Thank you for bringing this up and telling me even the inspiration he brought you and the impact he made on you and the smiles he brought to you, because that prompted me to realize, oh, it's 10 years and now he has, it's his bidding his farewell, and it's a perfect time to do a tribute to him in that Smile Challenge." So that is coming. I guess, just from a standpoint of, I wanted to show up today because today is the day I typically do a live, that I've been doing my weekly video and doing it live. And based on it being revolving around Champ today, and a lot more coming with Champ today, I was guided to be able to connect Champ's personal Facebook page onto this platform for you followers to follow what I'm saying as well. Because what I was going to say also, once we started the Smile Challenge and people started picking up on it, it got picked up by 7 leading dog magazines around the world, and they were sharing it in their content. They were sharing it in their magazines. Even he was in their magazines and then their online magazines. And so what then happened was people from all over started overnight just showing up on his page. It was like a lottery machine. Like his page just kept blowing up, and just like it was just ding, 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 and I couldn't even believe it. And he had a huge following in UK, and has a huge following, I should say, because his breed is also from UK. Staffordshire Bull Terrier. It comes from a mixture of the Old English Bulldog and a Manchester Terrier that created the Staffordshire Bull Terrier. And there'll be more about this in his book and his heritage, but people don't really realize that he's the grandfather of the American Pit Bull that went through a lineage of creating the American Staffordshire that then became I should say, the Staffordshire Bull Terrier became the American Staffordshire that became the American Pit Bull. So there's a whole process to that. Hey, Heidi, just finding out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know you have followed me on the journey when a few years ago, and back in 2017, he was taken from me and it shattered my heart. And I went through an 8-month trial. And it wasn't just a court battle, it was a court battle, but it was also a trial. Literally went to the judge through a long, grueling trial to get him back. But it also taught me, again, the whole thing was about me learning what I needed to do. And he was always on the other side of what I needed to learn. And in that, what I have to tell you is my lessons of learning were coming to a close. And it was almost like I've been saying on my whole journey of even my twin flame journey, that it became that the lessons that he was still putting me into action, even not long ago. A big one, with some things with, neighbors and dogs, and had to file reports and things like that about some things. With this time, there was no fear, there was no hesitation, and I knew I was his voice to protect him. And so I had to stand up for him. And the point of that is, there was a time where doing that kind of thing and creating justice in that would have been scary or fearful or, conflict or, just on and on. And it was just that there was nothing stopping me. Like, I just did what I had to do, didn't care. And except for knowing that I was standing up for what was right. And it's proving to me that even down to me expressing myself, being in my power, speaking my truth, he was still all on the other side of me, proving I could do that. And I always knew, as I was getting stronger and stronger and using my power and speaking my voice and just on and on, I really recognized that, his purpose was coming to a closure, which also scared me and brought up a lot of fears in me, because I knew when his job was basically complete, our contract would be complete. So, it was a piece that had to slowly unravel, but understanding and knowing, what was going on. But there was nothing, I can tell you, nothing that could prepare me for what happened at the end, and for how quick it happened at the end, and traumatic it was at the end. So, um, will be today is the last, well, actually marks the day in this evening that it all started. And so I'm 1 week out from this. And again, the only thing that's fully helping me heal is showing up to put my pain into a purpose, like I've done all this journey. And that is sharing, thank you, Lisa, that is sharing my purpose and my mission. But not just mine this time. It's his. And that's how I actually started my own mission, through the lessons he taught me. And that's what is in the book, is the 8 tricks have to do with the things he taught me that have helped me awaken my inner champ and have helped me live my best life and become my best self. So a piece of this book that's coming out, is about that. It also parallels Champ's life as far as his own legacy, his own purpose, his own mission, how that parallels with mine, how we reflected each other, and then the wisdom he had that, was his mission to share with the world. So I'll just give you a couple of samples of the tricks that are in there that are really cool. And they follow, if you're familiar with the chakras and how the energy of the body works, all of these tricks reflect the chakras and healing your chakras. And I didn't know that whenever I was writing all of that, because it wasn't like I planned it. Ever since day one, I've heard him in my head. And that's why the book's coming out as The Human Whisperer, because he always spoke to me without words. We communicated constantly through a combination. I could hear him from the time I picked him up. He was, scampered off towards the gate like he was ready to go. And I heard, "Where have you been? I've been waiting on you." And I was like, oh my gosh, like I could tell that was like him in my head. And so he's always done that to me, all along. And I will say that over time that changed, in different ways. But in those tricks and in those things that he taught me that mirror the chakras, there a few of them are things like, um, barking out loud, which is speaking your truth, which is your, your throat chakra, sniffing it out, and trusting your instincts, which is your solar plexus chakra, and also like pooch time consciousness and living in the now, which was more of like your third eye chakra. And so, um, that's just a few of the things. There's 8 tricks. Um, and I just want to, the other piece I want to say here, as this has been my farewell week to him. And I don't know why I'm kind of losing my voice in this video. I know it kind of started a little bit before, but I know that when I personally have went through different traumatic things, it always, and since I've had COVID, it's affected my own throat chakra. And so I feel like that, right now my throat chakra is probably, going into spasm. And what that means for me is that when I kind of go through this physical release, like emotional release, I should say, and then it goes through a physical release of my body, and I go through the physical shift of that, it just means that my voice is getting stronger. It means my voice is getting louder. It means my voice is getting bigger. It means, there's more to do, there's more to say, there's more to show up in these ways. And so, I know this is, putting me in a position to continue my growth. That's the other thing. It has not stopped. And those of you on the twin flame journey that know this, a lot of times in the separation, there is no separation, because in the ethers, you're still connected. But on the other side, in the physical aspect of it, you learn more in the absence of someone in this scenario than you do in their presence, usually. And there are times that you learn in the presence and times you learn in the absence, but you can fully learn more in the absence. So these things haven't stopped, is the point I'm saying. In fact, I can feel it bringing all this stuff together, even for him, which really parallels my own life of bringing all my pieces into wholeness. So all the work I've done for him and create as a voice for him and to deliver of his information, I know that it's bringing more me together. And I know that, like, whenever his mission and his voice and his whole purpose went global before I did, it's kind of like he was the precipice of what launched me out in a new and different way that actually brought in what I was to be doing. Because I don't know if some of you remember that followed Champ and me. We had started a nonprofit organization, and that was Global Pause for Peace, in order to help bring unity amongst all breeds. And in that, the goal was to raise awareness, number one, create fundraising in order to help support different rescues of bully breeds that, are less fortunate, that need to be out of the, certain places that are going to euthanize them because they have nowhere else to go, or just in general healthcare and all these other things. So that being said, we have raised money over the years for different projects. And I can tell that from all of the foundation we laid for that's to continue. And I don't even know what or how, I just know that that process is going to continue. So basically in where we're at here on different platforms, there, Champ has a pay it forward link to his purpose and mission that I've put on my own YouTube stuff or different places before to donate. So, if that's something that resonates with you, I did put the donation link in the description above or below. For those of you on Instagram, it is not there. I don't have it on my Instagram page as of now, but there's going to be more to come on all that. And I'm actually, what I can say is it's the whole thing has rekindled a new spark in me. Not it rekindled a spark I've had that I haven't had this kind of spark rekindled in me in a long, long time, even with everything that I've been doing. And it brings joy to me, um, on a level that is so deep inside for my ability to feel compassionate and empathy and love and joy, happiness. And so, anyway, what I was going to say though is I've provided that link here if that resonates with anyone, and be prepared if would love to follow us. 1 week from today, we'll kick off. It's only going to be on. I decided to do a little earlier than Memorial Day, which is when we did it 10 years ago, but because there's a full moon a week from today, and I've been doing my Thursday lives. So 1 week from today, we're going to launch um, the tribute for the 100-day Smile Challenge 10-year anniversary. And out of that, somewhere will be, and I don't know exactly when, but in the process of that Smile Challenge, before it's over, the book is going to launch. Um, it may launch it as the grand finale, but I could see it being done sooner. So I don't know, but I'll keep you posted. But this book, what I will tell you, for all of those of you who've followed me personally and even read my book, Twin Flame Codebreaker, this book will trump that. And it's beyond words, really. But and I never did finish saying this, but I want to really thank everyone for their support. Their on my personal page, I've had a lot of personal support. I've had also want to thank all of the people on Champ's page that has followed him in his Smile Challenge and his legacy. I want to thank all the people that have donated to his mission in the past or even going forward in the future. And my goal is to keep his legacy alive. And that was another thing that I felt the other day, because at first, I had a dog that passed at 15 almost, and I could feel her instantly. I could even hear her nails clicking through the house on the hardwood floor and all kinds of things like that. And then, so when, Champ officially crossed, basically I exploded, and it connected me to more pain than I'd ever had in my heart. And in that, though, the thing was, I took on the pain for him, so he no longer had to. So I had to make a very tough decision in a quick, short amount of time to relieve him of his pain. And I always said I could never do that. And of course, I knew along the way he probably would put me to the test, because that's what he always did, of having to do the things that maybe I don't want to do, because it always brings something more and greater out of me that makes me a stronger, better person. And so that really taught me what unconditional kindness truly was. And that also mirrors, the whole journey of Christ and bearing the burdens for others. So, people, someone doesn't have to. And so, I've really took that on and understood why and what I was doing. And knowing it was, for him, and it was the best option I could make for him. And so, thank you, Coffee and Grace. Thank you so much. Love you too. Love you too, Dr. Patty. Cousin, that's my cousin. So anyway, what I was going to say though is I want to thank everyone that's followed his journey in the past. Everyone that supported me in this process, over the last week. And I'm excited to actually, engage in this, to how do I say? I said it already, the rekindle something that feels like has been a little dormant. I've spent the last 3 years kind of feeling a little lost in what I'm doing, knowing that I'm here to do what it is, for people and humanity, but personally not knowing how to fully connect to it at the level that I have in the past. And this is taking me back to my connection to a purpose on a level that is greater than, me. And that's the goal and that's the point. So, anyway, if you're just joining, I'm going to do a quick little recap. That today, in my live, I'm coming forth and sharing the legacy of Champ, and saying farewell to my bestest friend in the whole wide world, and the, Staffy, the Staffordshire Bull Terrier of his tribute to his smile and the smile legacy of smiling. And we're going to be doing and reposting a 10-year anniversary smile challenge that him and I did together on my social media and his social media. So he was the sweetest. Yes, he was. He was. I know. Thank you. And thank you all again for support, your love. If that's one thing I did want to ask, anyone, if you have even watching this later, if you have a story about having followed Champ and anything that, remember Champ that was an impact or an inspiration to you in his smile, his journey, his message, please leave it in the comments, because I would love to hear what you have to say. That will continue to fuel me to know me showing up is for a reason and for a purpose, which I know it is anyway. But that's what keeps me going, is knowing that that message is making a difference in people and in the world. So I appreciate you all. I love you all. And thanks again for all your love and support. And thanks to all of you on Champ's page for your years of service and to our lives. And I look forward to sharing more. All right. Love you guys. Take care. Have a great day, rest of your day. And thank you, Heidi, for that message, because you say all our past pet relationships are essential, as you know. Yeah. Your oldest, and Angela, passed away 2 weeks ago. Oh, Heidi, I'm so sorry to hear that at the age of 15. My heart goes out to you, Heidi, as well. And I do want to say something as you're saying that. One of the things that in this grief I have felt is so deep, so intense. I did some research on it about, and this is going to be in the book too, about how a pet or a dog, or really just a pet, how they can impact us so much more, to be more painful than even a human or a family member passing. I've lost my dad, and what I will tell you, I will go and tell you this, because this is coming up. Those of you who followed me with my dad, and he had a couple brain tumors, and he passed, and he lived with the brain tumors for 30 years, but it was more of a seizure that actually took him, because after he had a really strong one, he was never himself. And then over time he would have them. And then that's what kind of took him down, was the seizure. And so basically Champ's exit had to do with having seizures out of nowhere, and going from seizing to just nonstop seizing, to taking him into the vet, and the vet basically saying that when they're over 5 years old and they go into seizures, it's a 98% chance they've got a brain tumor, and that their brain tumor is slow growing. And so I know that I was very guided to this specific vet for very specific reasons. And so I feel like part of the reason was for her to give me answers and understanding, and also compassion, because she went through the same exact thing with her own dog that I was going through. And we had not had established a vet yet. And her staff took us in with like open hearts, and made it such a, if I wanted to consider doing it home, but there was no time for that. And so if there was ever a time for a place for that, and to not be at home, then going there was the best second option there. So anyway, thank you. I love you all. I'll be back next week. Be prepared to find out more about the 100-Day Smile Challenge. I'd love to follow you. Followed on the post, or the repost that I'm doing. For those of you, it's going to be, I guess I should say this too, and I should have put this on there. Champ has a Facebook page that is Champ Strut Like Your Mutt. And if you really go into it, it's Champ. It started out as Champ Bully About Town. That page will have the whole tribute, the whole 100 Days Smile Challenge posted on there. And so you can go to his page and connect there, and you can follow it there. I'm also going to be posting my personal page and probably some of my own social media for, my journey, because that's, even though it's been a twin flame journey, Champ, as you know, those of you who followed my twin flame journey know Champ's been a part of that journey and a part of that twin flame mirrored reflection for me, like, this whole time. So, but definitely follow us over on his page, Champ Strut Like Your Mud, the Bully About Town. And I look forward to sharing more. Okay, I love you guys. Take care. Bye for now.